Even TikTok videos could explain bodybuilding better than they could back in the 1940s. And so he would be better, and he's natural. You all know that. Do you agree? Or do you think he magically invented testosterone on his own in a lab in his basement?
American bodybuilders weren't juicing before the 1950s, which means that this physique from 1947 was built 100% naturally.
I want you to take a look at the exquisite development of Steve Reeves at only 21 years of age. Natural. Before testosterone was available, before SARMs, peptides, and before they even knew about progressive overload. He certainly wouldn't have known how many grams of protein he needed to eat per pound of body weight. He didn't have all the fancy exercises that have been invented. He never even had my freaking cookbook. In your wildest dreams, can you imagine looking like that? He's 21 and he looks like this. The quads, the calves, the small waist, the X-frame, the V-taper, the lats, every freaking muscle looks amazing. Even Julian knows how to train better than this guy. It was 1947. They hadn't even invented the bench press yet. Bro looks like a statue, a god. I'm blown away. And when I made a video on the top 10 best natural physiques of all time, he was in there. And I wonder why. He's 6'1" and 215 pounds. Chris Bumstead, also 6'1", and when he first competed, he was about 215 pounds at 18, but admittedly on performance-enhancing drugs. And so, arguably, he had as an amazing physique as Chris Bumstead when he was about the same age, and Chris was on steroids and he was not. Let's compare Steve Reeves' physique to Hussein Farhat, who's older than Steve. Steve Reeves, in comparison, he blows him out of the water. I don't even care if he was wearing pants. His upper body is even better than Hussein. I think he has a better physique than me when I was a professional bodybuilder. This is insane. He's 21 years old, natural, and better physique than I had while I was on steroids. I mean, let's compare him to when I was natural. At 30, I don't see me beating this physique. I was 30 years old. I have 1 in a million genetics. This guy, natural, at 21, better physique than me, natural, at 31. How is it possible? 1 in a billion physique. Now, let me blow your mind a little bit more. It's now 78 years later. He was born in a different time, 3 generations later. He has the internet. He has the proper training. He has the proper tan. He's using Jeff Nippard's app, and perhaps I'm coaching him. I'm telling him, hey, bro, you can actually do this exercise, this many reps from failure, and train each body part twice a week. I'm telling him everything. Would he not even have a better physique than this? Probably even better than that. The training they did back then, they had no clue what they were doing. And I'm talking about no clue, nothing. They didn't have a clue. Even TikTok videos could explain bodybuilding better than they could back in the 1940s. And so he would be better, and he's natural. You all know that. Do you agree? Or do you think he magically invented testosterone on his own in a lab in his basement? And so if he can get a physique like this with inferior training, inferior knowledge of dieting, they didn't even know you need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and he looked like this, what could people do now? And so you take this physique, born 80 years later in the future, and you keep him natural, 100%. Does anyone believe it? He would have said, hey, I'm Steve Reeves, not editor Steve, Steve Reeves. How many people think they took this photo with an iPhone 16 and put special lighting filters and so on? No, he would look even better now. No one believe it. Philion would say fake Natty, look at him at 21. Catabolic Twig, fake Natty. And Coach Greg, he would say, I think he's a fake Natty until he shows me the blood work. Bro, if you want to prove that you're natural, you got to send me the blood work, and you got to do it now. I don't want you to have any time to cycle off. I don't know if you're on enclomiphene, MK677, various peptides, testosterone, SARMs, steroids, whatever. I want you to show me the blood work. And I would analyze it, and I would say, look, I think he's natural. And Catabolic Twig and Philion, the rest of them would say, Coach Greg, you've lost all credibility. Why? Because I told you what you didn't want to hear. Because I went by the science, not just my eyeballs. Because most people, and I'm talking about not even 1 in a million, could look like this while being natural. And so you're playing the odds. The odds are he's not natural. But if you play the odds often enough, eventually you're going to get it wrong. I'm sorry. And so there lies your answer. People can get amazing physiques that don't make any sense. It's just, you have to believe it. And so you might be thinking, yeah, but what about Michael Hearn? If Michael Hearn had shown me his blood work, even once while looking amazing, and he passed it out and said he passed, he's freaking natural. Can I prove he was natural his entire life? Nope. But if he actually showed the blood work, I'd say he's natural right now. It dates back at least a month. And so, well, maybe he's 1 in a billion. He hasn't shown it. And I wonder why. Why do you think people don't show their blood work? Because they know I can out them. You really think Prosper Fitness is natural? He failed the blood work. And other people, they show their blood work saying, oh, this is going to prove that I'm natural. Like Nathaniel Mazera Handa, whatever the frig his name is, 21 nanograms per deciliter. Sure, you're natural. Sure. I believe people until I do not. You say you're natural. If you're willing to show me the blood work and you pass, I believe you're natural. You can believe that blood work says nothing, that they just took in clomiphene, they cycled off the day before the test, they passed because you don't understand how to read blood work, but I digress.
Eugene Sandow. To this day, this is who the Mr. Olympia trophy is named after. This photo was taken in 1897.
Eugene Sandow was way bigger than Hussein. 5'9", 185, way leaner. Hussein, 5'11 and a half, 185. Taller, same weight, more body fat. Why is it that Eugene, who didn't know anything about lifting weights, it's in the 1800s, how could he have a great physique? Well, genetics.
He was a pioneer and a great early proponent of exercise, but he once said that the best way to train was to use, quote, light weights, just 5 to 10 pounds, for 10 to 15 reps.
And so 5 to 10 pound weights for 10 to 15 reps to build your muscles. He probably didn't want to overtrain, didn't know anything about progressive overload, but yet he built a physique like that. Guaranteed there were guys out there, aside from Eugene Sandow, probably had more muscle than that. They just didn't own a camera. You ever think of that? They were just working in the woods, chopping wood perhaps, and they were freaking jacked.
Ronnie and his coaches say he was still 100% natural here at 27 years old. And given what he eventually became, most of the bodybuilding world believes it.
Here's the thing with Ronnie Coleman. People, even after seeing 290 pounds, 5% body fat, don't believe that he could have been 230 pounds at 5% body fat. They just don't believe it. They think, no, he just kept upping the doses. You can't just take your average person with average genetics and just pop them up on more and more steroids and eventually look like Ronnie. You need redonkulous genetics for putting on size, redonkulous genetics for handling those PDs. Just a 1 in a billion type of body to be able to handle everything. But somebody has to be 1 in a billion. Isn't it possible it's Julian? I mean, people are acting like, what are the odds that it's Julian? Well, whoever has the best genetics in the world, whoever has the most amazing teenage physique that's natural, don't you think that there somehow, somewhere, somebody took a photo of them and posted it on Instagram, and that person would have sent it to me to perhaps do his blood work? The odds are very high that the best physiques in the world are going to be physiques that you've seen, because most people know someone with a camera, most people post on Instagram, and so most people would see everyone's physique. And so most people be aware of the most impressive physiques in the world. It's how it works.
My nutrition app MacroFactor uses science-based algorithms to guarantee that you'll hit your goal as long as you follow the plan.
Remember, it's going to give you an advantage over Steve Reeves and all the old bodybuilders before 1950. Interested in the cookbook, the supplements, the Circle Diet book, all the advantages of 2025, hey, without any of the negatives, except for you got to pay for it. Enter code Greg for 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops right there. And until next time, I am out.